Yeah.
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 I love that montage. I really do.
Yeah.
Whoever
Bill Apter.
created that, thank you for doing that.
Yeah, man. That is the good old unscripted media team, man.
Yes.
Fantastic. Sportskeeda has amazing media team. So
You know
Bill
who does
Apter.
great? You know who does great with that too?
What's that?
Mac Davis is an
Oh, does he?
incredible production guy.
Oh, does he?
Oh,
Really? Very nice.
absolutely incredible production guy.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice.
Well, I got a couple of things that I'd like to open up with, unless you had something in mind.
Nope. Let's do it.
All right. One thing I'm proud about, and the other thing I'm kind of professionally upset about. The thing I'm proud about is this Thursday, the 19th of October. I've got a lot of fans have been asking me, what's the condition of Jerry the King Lawler? We haven't heard anything about him in a long time. So I did an exclusive interview with him that will be right here on Wrestle Binge on Thursday. So he talks about what he's currently doing every day, about the therapy that he's going through, etc. So please subscribe to Wrestle Binge so all of you can be in on as soon as that drops on Thursday. So
fantastic.
King.
Love it. Love it.
All right. Now I'm professionally upset.
Why?
I wasn't going to bring this up anywhere, but it's gotten to the point now where it's bothering me. And I wondered if it was me, if it was Sportskeeda, or what it is. For the past forever, I have been contacting AEW regarding doing interviews with their people, with their talent. Okay. As you know, I'm not one of these people that do interviews that expose everything. I like to stay along the storylines and whatever they're doing, complimenting their talent, etc., yelling at the heels and being pals with the baby faces. They're in Philadelphia on the 25th of October. I sent them an umpteenth email through the year I've been sending them, and I keep getting back, well, we're not doing media. We're not doing media. So here I figured, and again, I wasn't going to do this publicly, but I'm wondering what's going on with them with the whole media thing. For someone like me, who has been doing this professionally for 51 years and can do no harm to them, and I wouldn't do any harm to them, why is it? Do you remember the days, and you and I talked about this, when WWE locked out all the magazines and pretty much all the press?
Yes.
Well, I never thought that I would see another organ. And now WWE is a pleasure. We need interviews, we call. They have a great PR team there. But now I can't get anywhere with AEW. And I have also contacted people with other pro wrestling sites, etc., and it's the same deal. So what do you think, Chris? Why is this happening?
I think that AEW is probably trying to I think I think the AEW is trying to prevent themselves from getting hard questions. Honestly, I do, because here's the thing: they have media. Well, because I imagine someone's vouching for Bill Apter. I mean, come on, there's people in AEW. I imagine most people in AEW knows who Bill
Some of
Apter
the
is.
wrestlers want to know why I'm never there. I said, I
Yeah,
can't go backstage. I can't interview you.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I do think that because I mean, I have some friends who are top names in AEW, and
Hmm.
I'm like, man, they're like, man, I really wanted to, I really wanted you to, because I've interviewed him before, and they're like, man, I really want to be interviewed by you again, but there's just such a rigorous process to get
Oh yeah, I have
interviews.
one of the top veteran major stars who's a dear
Mhm,
friend of mine
mhm.
who said, I'm a company guy. I can't do it.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
and
about
and
that.
he can't do it,
Mhm,
and they want the publicity. It's just like the
mhm.
wrestlers did back in the magazine
Yeah,
ban, but for some reason, they do have the scrum
yeah. I
after
was gonna
the
mention that. Yeah.
pay-per-views, and WWE now does a press conference afterwards,
Mhm.
and you can almost control that and almost only take questions from the people that you want to take
Yeah,
questions from.
correct.
However, it's not a one-on-one interview like I do with WWE guys, with
Mhm.
uh, veteran wrestlers at the conventions. I can't even talk to Samoa Joe, the ROH champion.
Mm.
It's no, no.
Well, one, I think Tony Khan's not involved in those interviews, and so as you saw, as you see with the scrums, he wants to be a part of just about everything. Even if you read a lot of the press statements that we receive as media, it has his name and it has like
Mhm.
CEO, founder, president, general man, like it has like a bunch of credentials after his name. So
I've offered to do him. I've
it's
offered to do him too. We're
yeah.
not doing media interviews.
Yeah, yeah, and again, I think it's one of those things that AEW is very meticulous about not really exposing themselves in any way, because I think they're still under pretty high level of scrutiny. And I think with the scrums though, I think with the scrums, it's very controlled. So it's just a matter of couple minutes, and just one question per outlet, most of the time. So it's very controlled.
Oh
And so
yeah,
and
yeah,
then a lot of times you get to pick, you're picking what outlet. If a lot of times people within those media scrums are more privy to pick an outlet or a person that
hmm,
they're more familiar with, so they don't risk
absolutely.
any type of like risky questions or anything like that.
That's me, Mister Non-Risky.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really. If you
yeah.
talk about anybody that's non-risky, it's me.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I agree, but then they consider your outlet, right? And they consider Sportskeeda. We are a wonderful wrestling outlet, but we're
Yeah,
still a wrestling site. So
right,
it's not like
right.
other multi multi-sport outlets. That's I think Sportskeeda is the best in the wrestling
Yeah, me
field,
too.
with outlet wise. But at the same time, a lot of times Tony Khan really can't handle wrestling websites writing about you know the company of the sport, or it might be some type of personal bent, personal disdain Tony Khan has with the sheets, so to speak. And I think a lot of times
Yeah,
that's kind of put a negative or a black
but
eye.
I'm not part of that brigade.
Yes, that's true, but at the same
Yeah,
time, you are representing a wrestling outlet though. So
absolutely, absolutely. Or maybe if they let Bill do an interview, then everybody's got to get an interview.
correct. Yeah. And and I don't think that that's fair, honestly. I mean, you're Bill Apter, you know what I mean? So I don't think that
Well,
that
thank you.
same logic should apply. Bill Apter, someone who's been in this industry longer than Tony Khan's been living,
You're
once
right, actually.
he wants an
My
interview.
birthday is Sunday, so I'll be
Happy birthday.
a year older than Tony Khan has been living. I
Very
don't know.
nice.
But anyway, but I'm
You're
just
older than his father, I believe. I
right.
think you're older than Chad is, right?
Probably. I
Yeah.
photographed Abraham Lincoln's first match.
Yes,
But
yes.
anyway, the bottom line is that you can pick and choose, and I'm not asking to be picked or chosen.
Although you should be.
But here, when they're right here, 45 minutes away from Apter's Alley here, and I can't even, I helped start some of the people. I gave them their first contacts, people like Taz, and I can't even go backstage and talk with them.
Wow. Yeah, I think it's a really disservice to the industry, honestly. I mean, like if you think about any sports shows, they're looking for local, outlets. More, especially the day of, that's a huge thing within sports media.
Sure.
Like what's your radio station? Let me hit up a few radio stations.
They may be doing those. I don't know.
They may be doing those, but AEW is I know people in AEW. You do too, but I know people even from a backstage standpoint, and it is a pain to get any type of media ability for AEW. And so I think Tony just wants to keep it with the scrums. I think he feels that it's safe with the scrums, and especially he's there, to just kind of shepherd and oversee everything. And so, I think that's just the AEW model for now.
I got an idea. I would like all my Apter chatters there. If you're in Philadelphia, make up a sign, let Apter interview.
Let Apter in.
I'm not going.
Apter in.
I'm not going to the show because they're very gracious with, we'll give you seat, press pass, etc.
Yeah.
But if I can't, I can watch it on TV there. Yeah. So, and I'd love to be with the fans, but the whole point is that I have a job that I love, that I want to do, and I can't do it there.
Yeah. That's sad, man. And I think if anybody's earned their stripes in the journalism industry, it's this guy right here. This guy right here, Bill Apter.
That guy over there.
Thank you, man.
Guy over there. What's been on your mind, Dr. Chris?
What do you want to talk about, as Cody Rhodes would say? Man, I'm there's not been much wrestling stuff on my mind outside of watching it for my job. But let's talk about Raw's dip in numbers. Triple H is supposed to be the guy at the helm now. And
creative.
Exactly, when it comes to creative. And their numbers, they got less than a 1.5. So why do you think that's the case? Why do you think WWE's numbers as a whole, even in Raw, like they made it a season premiere of Raw, and they got, I think like a 1.483, man. Those numbers are unheard of.
But some of the competition that, for example, if you live here in Philadelphia or the surrounding areas, they had the first game on TV last night right opposite Raw of the playoffs. So that's going to take a segment away because the Philly fans are at the ballpark. We're watching it on TV. In terms of creative,
well, hold on. Before you go to that point,
yeah.
With what you just said, though, wasn't this the same reason? Wasn't this the same issue, or the same potential competition in 1998, 1997?
Different world. Come on, you can't compare it with that. You really can't. I can't. Different world. It's just a different world. Wrestling is different, and it's just not the same thing. But you started off talking about
you're getting 4 million people less than you did 25 years ago. And the reason is because there's a different world.
There's a lot going on. I can't explain it to you. There's a lot of distraction going on in the world period right now, where people are channel turning, jumping from different sports. Also, what's going on in the world, in Gaza and Israel, etc. There's a lot of active TV channel turning that's going on.
Yeah, but
But you,
that doesn't justify 1.5 million people watching
I
Raw,
can't
though.
justify. I can't
Yeah, I mean that
justify.
doesn't
No,
justify
you're looking for
it.
justification. How can I do that? I can't.
Yeah, I mean
I can't.
there's
I channel
less than
turn.
1.5 million people watching the flagship show of WWE. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
like,
No, I channel turn through Raw, the Phillies,
mhm.
and the Israel Gaza conflict all night. I did watch, as you know, I chimed in during your show with your Raw show with Legion
Mhm.
of Raw with Vince Russo last night, and a lot of the things that you said, some of the points that you two brought up, were very telling because I love as a worker, as a wrestler, Sami Zayn. But do I open up the show with Sami Zayn?
Mhm.
Is he strong enough without Kevin Owens to open up that show and
Season premiere, by the
sustain
way.
it?
Season
What's that?
premiere.
Yeah,
Season
it was the
premiere.
season premiere,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But do you open that up with Sami Zayn, or do you open that up? I probably might have opened it up with Uso instead of Sami Zayn.
Hmm.
Just
You know, that's a good
looking at the
point.
roster last night.
That's a good point, Bill. But even if you think about it, though, Raw has a very weak roster. Like it just there's not like a lot of star-studded names on Raw. Like for like right now, you have Roman Reigns, John Cena, and an emerging LA Knight on SmackDown.
Yeah, yeah,
And you don't have you don't have like any major star power right now. I mean, you have names, of course. You have Seth, Drew, Gunther still killing it, but he's not really transcending Raw. I mean, like he's not really appealing to the masses. He's just doing
no.
really good at his craft. He's
And
doing
his match, by the way,
yeah,
with Bronson Reed last night, I didn't like the end where they had Bronson Reed pinned. There could have been disqualification or something like
sure.
that. But that, for fans that go, "Oh, come on, wrestling is all fake," that match, they'd say, "You know that one was real."
Yeah, yeah.
That's how convincing.
Big meaty man slapping meat. That's Big E
Oh,
would say.
gee, it
Yeah.
was okay.
that's
But go on. You're on a train of thought
that's a
here.
Big E quote, not mine.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
That's a Big E quote.
Yeah,
That's what we saw with Gunther against Big Bronson Reed is what he's being coined now. Big
yeah.
Bronson Reed. Yeah, I don't think Raw doesn't have a lot of star power, man. Just from
Yeah, but
a massive.
there was something a little flat with the season premiere. Season premiere, you're expecting just this great, what
Yes,
every match is going to be like a
it
main
sets the
event.
tone for the season.
Yeah,
That's what it does. I
exactly.
mean, a season premiere sets the tone for the season. So if this is setting the tone for the season of Raw, whatever that season is, since it's year round, but for whatever that season is, it's not setting a good tone for the Raw. First of all, the fans agree because it was under 1.5 million people. And secondly, you're starting off with someone who is as niche, as appealing to the niche audience as you possibly can, and his stock has grossly diminished since 8 months ago.
Mhm.
During the Royal Rumble, the Royal Rumble slash especially Road to
Yeah,
WrestleMania.
yeah, yeah.
8 months ago, Sami Zayn was one of the hottest names, if arguably the hottest name outside of Roman Reigns in the
Sure.
company, right?
Yeah.
But nowadays, because of how they booked him, his stock has plummeted so much, and he's not tied again. He's not tied to a story.
No,
That's
the
the reason why
entrance was
stories
the
matter.
entrance. They loved it. The fans loved the entrance. But after the entrance, it went like, what are we doing? Yeah.
Yes.
And then the
There-
whole thing with him backstage kind of whining about Kevin Owens,
yes.
I don't know, it just didn't grab me. And the fact also that they changed the tag team belts on
Hmm.
the premiere,
I think they want to do
here's
that
what
as
I
shock
thought was going to
factor.
happen. Let me tell you what
Mhm.
I thought was going to happen. To me, this would have been creative booking, let's say, that Jey Uso during that match would have turned against Cody and become a member of Judgment Day. That's what I would have liked to have seen.
I think we'll see a Jay turn eventually. I think that Jay's going to turn on Cody and rejoin the bloodline. I think that's going to be a way to set up Cody Roman. But there's some rumors of Jay versus Drew for the title at
I've heard that too.
Yeah. I'm
And
not
does
sure
Money in the Bank, I love how Drew McIntyre has stepped up his game again. It seems he always steps up his game. When he did, his anger thing last night, it was very, very convincing. But I don't know where they're going with him. But do you think, and I'm kind of changing subjects, but it's the same thing, that Judgment Day is kind of on one level now? And where the heck is the Money in the Bank thing? It's there every Monday night, and what are they going to do with it?
I think they'll eventually have. They'll have. They have until July, I believe, so that they have a year to cash it in. I think eventually Damien's going to cash it in, but at this point, it's like you have two pretty solid people in the world title realm right now, which is Roman and Seth. Seth, he has a better chance cashing in Seth than Roman. Yes, but at the same time, it's so. It's like, do you do a random cash in? Like, do you have like Seth versus whomever they throw in now since Nakamura's out, and then all of a sudden, hard hitting match, Seth barely wins, Damien comes out. And then it's like again, if you're not giving me much story to it, the cash in is going to fall flat, man. Like I just, for the life of me, I've been watching wrestling for nearly 40 years now.
Yeah, I know.
And for the life of me, I do not understand why there's been such a lack of storytelling across the board. Now, granted, Bloodline. That was really good storytelling. I liked it. I liked the Bloodline storytelling, but it's like across the board, man, for a considerable amount of time, it's just been match, and then different stipulations of.
Well, you guys said something last night. You guys said something on the Legion of Raw that they're doing matches every week to plug next week's matches.
Yes.
And that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
It really does. The one person on Raw that every time this person comes on, I go like, oh, I can't wait to hear what this person says. And that's Rhea Ripley. I think she is in the midst of superstardom. She is so good. I'm not just talking about in the ring, but her verbiage is incredible.
Yeah, but I agree with you. But I think, again, that you fall into another issue because Rhea Ripley's not tied to a story. And so she's not feeling big. She's not feeling big because she's not a huge antagonist. She's not a monster who's.
But she went face to face with, I believe, if I'm right, she went face to face with. Oh no, that was Jade and Charlotte. No, was it Jade and Charlotte or was it Rhea last night? I forgot.
Jade was with Becky Lynch.
Right, right. Yeah, that was 20 seconds of compelling TV. For me, it was.
What's the story? Well, think about it. Are you going to do a story with this, or are you just going to lead it to another match?
I would do a story with it.
Right. No, I'm saying as far as how the WWE's been, is this going to be a compelling story that's going to have to grow some legs, or is this going to be just another match?
No, I think it's going to be legs. I just have a feeling that everything they've invested in Jade, that they're going to do something that's going to be exceptional.
But what's going to make Jade different storyline wise than anybody else on the roster, especially who they already have? WWE does not write stories. They don't really well with writing stories. So what I can see is Jade coming in, having these, they're making her look big. I do give them that. Yeah. I like coming out of the car and looking like $1 million and making her look big. And one thing I do like about that is that if someone doesn't watch wrestling. So you have to do business as if you're people just changing the channel and they don't know too much about it. If they see this just specimen,
Yeah.
this goddess of a specimen come out, and look the part, come out and walk out of a car backstage, they're like, okay, well, clearly she's important. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that is something that they are doing good, but no one else feels important. Remember back in the 90s when a lot of time they would have those backstage segments when people would come out of cars. Like that,
Sure.
that was a thing. They would tie that into a segment.
WCW did that a lot with the whole
Like,
NWO and
pull out the door. People would come out and they would go to commercial because that would cause a little bit of a cliffhanger, cause people to want to come back and like, okay, okay.
What are they doing here?
Exactly. I'm really interested in seeing after the commercial's over what this means, what this person coming out the car means. Yeah. There's not a lot of backstage stuff in WWE outside of people bumping into each other saying, oh, you bumped into me. Okay, let's have a match tonight. You know what I mean? It's just like
well, that happens regularly on both Raw and SmackDown. But I think now with Triple H at the creative helm, it's just starting to, it's a whole different. He doesn't have Vince looking over the shoulder.
He didn't last year when Vince was out, though. When Vince was out, when Vince partially retired.
But I think now this is going to be a different test, and I don't know why people didn't tune in because they did say it was the season premiere, but if people didn't watch it, why didn't they watch it? Because the week before was good. So why did they tune out? What were all you people doing not watching Raw?
It's the same song and dance though, Bill. It's like what story on Raw is causing me to watch the next week? Like right now they have Judgment Day and Are You Friends? Like that's real. That's what we have. I mean, that's what we have. Do you trust Jey Uso and the Judgment Day wants to, reign supreme? It's like, if I was a casual fan or, anything of the sort, I'm like, I can take or leave this. But that's not, give me something compelling. Give me must see. Give me something that I have to come next week for.
Right. But this is all to set the last night was a lot to set up the crown jewel.
Okay, but what does that have to do with not having stories, though?
But they're just making short stories for the next big pay-per-view.
What short stories do they have right now currently?
Oh God! The whole
2 weeks.
Sami Zayn.
It's 2 weeks. Crown Jewels in 2 weeks. What short stories?
Difficult to pinpoint it. It really is.
And that's the problem right there. Yeah. That's the problem. Yeah. Difficult to pinpoint a story on Raw. That's precisely the issue.
Are we going to see Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso get into it because they lost the tag team belts?
Good. I mean, it could be.
Kind of feeling of that.
But I like Jey as a babyface, though, man. I like it. I like the thing that he does. I like
maybe Cody will go the heel route. Maybe Cody will.
Now, I think it's too premature for him to go heel. I think he should be heel. I think Cody Rhodes should be heel. He fits that role way better.
He's a nightmare.
Yeah, he's an American nightmare. Ooh.
Right.
All right, 2-minute lightning round. All right, let's go. Of course, super chats give you precedence, but I'll just start reading. Who would be Doctor, your next guess and win? That's a good question. Follow me at Chris Prolific, and I'll have that information.
I am working on 2 guests for us at this point.
All right.
One is a former Russian.
A former Russian.
The other one is a former bodybuilder. Yeah.
Nice. Is wrestling fixed?
I didn't know it was broken.
Very nice. Thoughts on Nick Aldis being SmackDown GM? I get the feeling that WWE not only signing AEW talent, but now NWA talent.
Well, I think he reminded me a lot of William Regal. That's what I felt when I saw him. A lot of fans didn't know who he was because then they didn't know him from AEW, from All In at the very beginning, and they didn't watch NWA. So he's kind of new at this point to them.
I'm okay
What
with
did
it.
you think?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
I
okay with it. I
am
mean,
too.
he fits. He fits. I mean, if someone is a classy, kind of professional role,
Yeah.
Nick Aldis. I mean, he
Yeah.
fits.
I agree. Do
Um,
you want to see him wrestle? You want to see him back in the ring?
I don't think it's necessary. I mean, if we do see him back in the ring, I think it should be more of like someone is going against, rebelling against his authority. Like a heel
Yeah.
is rebelling against his authority, and he's like, okay, well, I have no other choice but to stake my claim and get back in the ring to show you that I'm no one to push around.
That's the way to turn Cody heel because
I'm
of
okay
their
with that.
history.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm okay
Yeah.
with that. But Cody would have to come on SmackDown somehow because all this is the
Oh yeah, yeah,
SmackDown
yeah.
gym.
Well,
Yeah.
he goes to NXT. He goes all over.
Yeah, but they're still doing the split. Oh, we got a super chat. Let's do the super chat and we're gonna head
All
on out.
right.
$5 from JKinator722.
Thank you.
Hello, Bill. I'm just
That will
wondering, do
buy
you
me
vote in the
another.
Wrestling Observer
That
Hall
will
of Fame? And
buy
if
me
so,
another.
who? Let me read the super chat
Go
real
ahead.
quick.
I'm sorry.
Hello, Bill. I'm just wondering, do you vote in the Wrestler Observing Hall of Fame? And if so, who sticks out to you and who should get in?
Well, your $5 will buy me another pack of the giant Fruit Adventure Tic Tacs.
Very
Thank
nice.
you.
Very nice.
Oh, that
What do you think?
do I vote? I did vote some years. I didn't vote last. Did not vote last year, and I'm not sure if I'm going to vote this year. Who should get into the Observer Hall of Fame? Wow, loaded question because I don't know who is not in there. So it's a very hard question for me to answer. I'm not dodging your question. I just don't know the whole. Right, put Bubba Ray Dudley in there.
There you go.
He's still around, and nobody notices that he's done so much for the business, and he's always around.
Not Devon?
Yeah, well, Devon too, but Devon just came back. Bubba's never really left.
So the Wrestler Observer Hall of Fame. So you put just Bubba in the Hall of Fame or Bubba
I would
and
just
Devon?
put Bubba in right
Just
now.
Bubba? Oh, okay.
Only because he's still around. And had Devon stayed with him, put them both in. What the heck? Why not?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm thinking Hall of Fame, like it didn't cause you to
Yeah,
be
yeah. No,
around.
I would
Yeah.
put them both in. The Dudleys. Only
Yeah.
those two, though.
Okay. All right, one more super chat. 499 from John. Is it true that Bill is starting his own wrestling company to compete with the WWE? Give us the intel, Bill Apter.
I have no comment currently on this. My lawyers and I, there's been a hush order. It's ridiculous that they put a hush order on me. I've got a gag order on me. I can't discuss it.
Well,
Silence
sometimes is admission.
It is Cow Championship Office Wrestling. I am thinking of taking all my expertise, and Cow is Championship Office Wrestling. Okay. Big chapter in my book about all the times I defended that belt in the PWI office against Dan Severn, DDP, New Jack, RVD doing a moonsault off a Xerox machine, and I still kept the belt. I'll have the belt here next week. It's in the other part of Apter's Alley here.
Very nice.
And so WWE versus Cow.
Do you have it at the Cow Palace?
Would you like me to get it if you'd like to be alone just for 1 minute?
Go for it, man. Go for it. At the Cow Palace.
You can look in the back here, and you will see the Premier Streaming Network award that they gave me. Hold on, let me go get the Cow belt.
The Cow belt at the Cow Palace, because I need more cowbell, ladies and gentlemen.
Very, very, very large history. This was made by Reggie Parks.
Oh, Reggie Parks.
This is made by Reggie Parks, and
nice. Esteemed belt.
This is Cow. Cow, Wonderful Willie.
Looks
the
good.
Champion of Cow, and I've defended this against. Again, if you read my book, Is Wrestling Fixed?
I didn't know it was broken.
Or get the audio book. There's a whole chapter on all
good.
the people, and I have video. I have video of all the matches, and eventually, what I have to do is block out the other people that were in the office because I can't get their permission to run this. But a whole series with Dan Severn, who beat me once when Phyllis Lee, his manager at the time, hit me over the head with a bag of frozen bagels. So there's a whole videotape on it.
Not a surprise of Dan Severing beating anyone, by the way. So
no, just if there wasn't a bag of bagels, he never would have done it.
Bag of bagels did it.
So
that's a
the cow
good looking belt, man. Yeah, reminds me of the old. It reminds me of the WCW World's Heavyweight Championship, like during the time that's like 91 when Luger had
this
it.
is an original. This is an original.
I'm not saying. I said it reminds me of that, Bill. That's what I'm.
The WCW belt was patterned after the Cow Championship.
Oh, okay. So now we're talking. Now we're talking. So this was the let me see, the 1991 one, the one that Luger had. See, this looks a lot like it.
Oh, I didn't know we were going belt for belt here. It may have been made by Reggie Parks.
Yeah, Reggie Park. Yeah, he probably did. Yeah, it looks a lot like it. So that's a good looking belt, man. Very good looking belt.
Thank you.
All right, Bill. We got to roll, man. Let the listeners.
Oh, man, I enjoy this, Dr. Chris. I love being with you here every Tuesday night. Everybody subscribe to Wrestle Binge. And don't forget, if you're going to Philly for AEW, even though we'll be here next week the night before, get a sign made up. Let Apter interview.
Do it, man. Do it. There's no one better than this one here.
I appreciate it. Right. They do hold up the head of Dave LaGreca, and I love Dave LaGreca, so I need some interview help here.
I've met Dave, and very nice guy. So
Dave's great. He's great.
Okay. One more before we go. We got to go. One more. 499 from John. How many ring rates has Bill taken care of?
Ring rates. I don't know if I understand that.
I don't know what that means. How many ring rates?
Ring rates. How many greats? Maybe ring rates. I don't.
Ring rats. Rats. Ring rats. He clarified it. Rats.
God, they're still in the other part of Apter's alley here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think the last count was 1,362.
Okay.
And a half, because one of them was one of the wives of an ex-midget wrestler.
And a half. So, all right.
Yeah.
This guy right here is Bill Apter. I'm Dr. Chris. This is UnSKripted. Have a good night, everybody. Solo.